Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Night Moves. Today we're going to focus on a little bit of stuff with the quads, the hips, the low back, and some shoulder stuff. So we'll be kind of hitting a few major points. We're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose. So we do this kind of a lot. Bring your knees out wide today, your big toes together to touch. Start to bring your forehead down toward the mat. So maybe start on your forearms and just kind of see where you're at as you start to relax your head down. And if it doesn't get there comfortably, then just bend your elbows and place your palms underneath your forehead so you're creating a little pillow here. If you can take the arms all the way out and then relax your elbows down, relax your head to the ground, then that's perfect as well. So just give yourself a moment to settle in. Close your eyes so you can begin to relax. Pay attention to how you feel. Notice any areas of tension or tightness. And then just start to pay attention to your breath. Slow and steady inhales and exhales through your nose without force, without really worrying about how deeply you're breathing, but rather more about the rate of your breath, keeping it even. And then start to press up into a tabletop position. Bring your shoulders so they stack right over your wrists and your knees so they're right underneath your hips. And then just kind of sway your hips from right to left a couple of times. Like you're wagging your tail, just getting a little stretch through the side there, feeling out where the hips and the low back are at. And then come back to center and take cow pose with your inhale. So dip your belly down, lift your chest up, lift your tail up. And then with an exhale, go ahead and round your spine. Pull your chin in toward your chest and feel your spine stretch and decompress. And do it again. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your spine. Think about pulling your shoulders back. And then exhale, round your spine, pull your belly in, and draw your chin to your chest. And one more time, dip your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. And exhale, round, pull your belly in, and see if you can get a little bit more length. Maybe come to your fingertips and really push the ground away. And then find a neutral tabletop spine and bring your shins to the ground, sit back onto your heels. So you're gonna take your knees out wide again, just like you did for child's pose. Bring your hands behind you and start to lean back. So as you're leaning back, you might just kind of adjust a little bit, like lift and squeeze your glutes and then settle back down. And then you might have a little bit more space and you might come down onto your forearms. If this is too much, but being on your hands isn't enough, then you can always grab something to rest on, like a foam roller, and kind of slide it underneath of you. Try to keep your knees down, toes together, and then maybe even look up or let your head drop back. More breaths. And then slowly from wherever you are, lift your head up, lift your elbows up, come forward, bring your hands to the ground, tuck your toes behind you and lift your hips up into downward facing dog. And in down dog, again, just sway your hips over to the right and over to the left a couple of times. Getting that stretch into the side bodies and the low back. A little bit through the outer portion of the hip. Then come back to center, relax your head, and just take a couple breaths in down dog, stretching the whole back side of your body. Maybe bend one knee, press the opposite heel down. And then switch sides if you like. Just a little stretch into the calf
a little more into the hamstring. And then release, straighten both legs, maybe a little bend in your knees, couple more breaths. Then go ahead and bring your knees to the ground. Swing your hips to one side so your legs come out in front of you. So we're gonna take the legs out wide here. Let your toes relax, so more than likely they're turning inward. And if they're not doing that on their own, then grab onto your thigh and rotate it so that they do. And you see that pigeon toe. And from here, you're just gonna walk your hands forward. As soon as you start to feel that stretch and pull, bend your elbows, relax, let your torso start to get heavy, and then let your head start to get heavy. So some of you are familiar with this from our restorative class, but I won't keep you here as long. It's really only about 5 to 10 breaths. So make sure that you're not actively resisting this pose, right? Let your shoulders drop. Let your head drop. Feel the inner thighs, the hamstrings, and the low back all getting a little bit of space here. And keep that really slow and easy breath. And then really gently just press into your hands. Start to walk them back in toward you. Lift your head up, take a moment once it's upright. Couple of breaths. And then all you're gonna do is take your legs and sit crisscross here. So right shin or left shin on top, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna switch when we switch the arms. And all we're gonna do is take the right arm underneath the left. So for some of us, holding onto the shoulders is as far as we can get. And for some of us, we can wrap again around the forearms and the wrists. So either one is perfectly fine. You don't have to force this. Feel free to stay here. What we're gonna do is just let the weight of the elbows and the spine start to round and drop forward, and then let the head drop as well. So as you kind of lean into your elbows a little bit, they might touch your shins or they might make it to the ground. Breathe into your upper back, backside of your shoulders, and just feel that stretch there. Relax your head. Two more breaths. And slowly lift up. You can unravel your arms and kind of shake your shoulders out a little bit. Lean back so you can uncross your legs and switch, putting the opposite one in front. And then here we'll take the left arm underneath the right. It might be different on this side. You might be able to get here or finding that double wrap at the forearm or wrist. And then just kind of lead with your chest as you start to fold forward. And remember, your elbows might rest on your shins or your calves, or they might make it all the way down toward the ground. They might make it nowhere near that too. It's normal, but let the weight of the arms pull you down, and then slowly let your head drop and rest if it makes it there. And we're breathing into the upper back, breathing into the neck and the shoulders. About 2 more breaths. And then slowly lift up, unravel your arms, shake out your head a little bit, turn it in some circles, roll out your shoulders a little bit. And then just pull your knees together and lay down onto your back. So we're just gonna take that right thigh and wrap it over the left thigh. Pull your knees over to the left, and then reach out for your right arm and turn your head to the right. Just relax here. So you kind of want to let gravity do most of this work. Knees heavy toward the ground, shoulders heavy toward the ground. Just a couple of breaths into the right side, low back and hip, get some space. And then you can use your hand to help you as you gently rock back. Unravel your legs and pull your knees in so you're getting a good stretch in the low back to neutralize. And then wrap your left thigh over your right. Guide your knees over to the right. Reach out through your left arm and turn your head toward the left. Just a couple of breaths. So we're letting the knees be heavy, letting the shoulders be heavy. Slow, easy breaths into the left side, left low back, left hip. You can use your hand to help guide you back to center. Unravel your legs, pull your knees in and squeeze. And then bring your knees out wide. Hold on to your shins, your knees, or you can grab your feet. But if you grab your feet and your tailbone lifts, then let go and grab onto your shins. And then just pull your knees down, press your tailbone down, and take a couple breaths here. And draw your knees together. Lift your head up and wrap your arms around your shins. Try to reach for opposite elbow. Try to pull your forehead in toward your knees. And take a breath in. And then relax your legs and your arms as you exhale. Feel your hips release. And relax your arms, palms turn up. Take your shoulder blades and tuck them just underneath of you. So just a couple of breaths here in stillness, just laying down. Feel your body relax. Feel a little bit more space, a little bit less tension. And we never want to make any sudden movements right away, right? So just place your feet flat on the ground. Bring one arm alongside your head. Roll onto that arm. And then press into your palm to slowly guide yourself up and back to a seat. You guys, awesome. Good job. Keep it up every week.